Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy DeRay Davis, and right now you're checking out Real Black. Keep watching.
Okay, cool. All right, so we're limited in time, so I'm gonna jump right into it. What's the best piece of advice you've ever gotten, and where did it come from?
The best piece of advice I've ever gotten came actually from a guy outside of a liquor store. It was a homeless guy, and he was like, "Be yourself." And I thought it was real funny. I was like 11 years old, and I was like, "What is he talking about?" But he's like maybe a wino. I don't want to say he was homeless. I have no idea, but he was outside, and he was just sitting there drinking. And I was like, "Why?" My friends were like kind of bothering him, and I said, I was messing with him. I said, "Well, why are you out here?" And he was like, "Well, one thing you got to remember, you got to be yourself." And it always pops in my head when I see people stepping outside of themselves, and I think that helped me most of my career, just staying me.
Okay. And it's what do you consider your first break?
I think my first break came, it was almost at the same time. I won the Comedy Central Laugh Riots at the same day. The same day I got a TV deal with ABC Touchstone, so that was a rarity. I had won I had got the deal that afternoon, and then later on I said, it would be real weird if I win that contest tonight too, and I won. That was on a Friday, so by that Monday, things were moving. Like by that Monday, I was getting ready to go out to LA and do my thing.
Okay, cool. And how does being from Chicago influence your comedy?
I think being from Chicago makes us less limited to like being influenced by things. Like New York is a very trendy place, and LA is very trendy. Being in the Midwest, the only trend is gangsterism and and the crimes that go on. So you got to find yourself, and so I think being from Chicago really helped me, like kept me grounded. Like when I moved out there, I took the Chicago with me rather than went out there and changed. You know.
That's cool. Now, the first time I was aware of you, and I didn't realize it was you until years later, was the Kanye West situation. How did that come about, and can you remind folks of what it was that you did on?
I did the skits on Kanye's first two albums, Late Registration and College Dropout. Not in that order, and I did the Kanye, Wake Up, Mr. West. Well, they were really, the intro, and I did some other skits that I made up on there. They were trying to find Bernie Mac, but Bernie Mac was extremely busy. I never did impersonations, impressions, none of that, and just never did it because I thought I never sounded like nobody. And then we're in the studio. I've known Kanye for many years, and I just went in there. I was doing like a British voice at first, like, welcome to the Late Registration album, whatever. I did like a lot of voices doing it. And then out of nowhere, when everybody wasn't paying attention, I just started doing Bernie. I just thought maybe if I sound like him a little bit, we can get through it. And Kanye was like, that's it. He's like, let's do it. Like, keep doing, keep rolling. And they all were pitching me stuff, like different stuff in the room and telling me what to say. And that's how that graduated to the album.
Okay. And how has comedy changed? How has the game changed since you started?
It changed in a lot of ways. One, the game has changed. It's more webby now. It's more internet. It's more like comedians. It's a little bit easier for them now because they could watch old comic views and then do something funny that we did on Comic View for their Vine or for their Instagram, where we had to really be creative. The guys who made it had to really be creative and stand out and be different. I think there's a lot of imitating now, so it's not that much of a difference in the not much difference in the comedic background now. I don't think people studying enough. I don't think that's going on. But I love to see when a new guy breaks out. I like to see that happening. But if you notice now, I know I'm talking a lot about it, but if you notice now, like on the Last Comic Standings and the comedy contest shows, those guys been doing comedy 10, 15 years, and that's their break. So it's like, that's showing that originality still is the forefront of how we make it in comedy.
Okay, and final thoughts. Like, what's your current tour? What do you talk about? Where, what's next for DeRay?
What's next for DeRay is more of what you've seen, but on a higher level. I feel like I have a lot of material with things I've done, like back from BET, back from Def Comedy Jam, that didn't get the light of day it needed. So I want to revisit those comedic elements I would talk about and grow those things, and then reintroduce it to the people. Because back then I was rushed. You had 7 minutes on Def Jam. You had 8 minutes on Comic View. I want to revisit those jokes. So I want to do that and more so lean into more of the serious acting, which I've dabbled in a little bit, but I like dark comedies and I want to write more of those things. I've written for people. Worked with Brett Ratner, and he's helped me in the writing sense of getting things done. So now I want to just develop my own projects and hopefully produce some stuff that y'all gonna see, so Real Black can interview my whole cast.
Anything I forgot? Anything you want to make sure you mention?
Yep. Keep it real black, but it can also be light skinned sometimes. All right? It can. That's it.